Community voice.
Hello and welcome to a Community Voice Short. In this episode, we're going to explore the City of Iowa City-sponsored Rummage in the Ramp, an annual event that takes place each summer to help divert unwanted but usable items from the landfill and into your home. As any resident can see, late July, early August is perhaps the most popular time of year to move, and this popular moving time is most evident by the piles of stuff left on the curb, destined for the landfill. Bookcases, tables, mattresses, desks, couches, lamps. You could easily furnish your home or apartment just by driving around town and picking through the findings. I know I've had a bunch of great curb finds over the years, but this year I visited the Rummage in the Ramp, where items destined for the curb and landfill were put up for sale at very reasonable prices. The sale of these items, all donated by local people, benefit the local nonprofits who help to organize the Rummage. To learn more about the Rummage in the Ramp, we're going to welcome Marcia Bollinger, City of Iowa City employee and one of the organizers of the event. We will also be speaking with Jennifer Jordan, recycling coordinator for the City of Iowa City, about how this yearly event positively impacts the city's landfill. But first, let's take a look at some of the sights and sounds from this year's Rummage in the Ramp. Well, that was some great looking stuff at the Rummage. Thank you so much for joining us, Marcia.
Thanks for having me.
I went down to the Rummage for the first time this year and I got a great hide-to-bed couch for $10, perfect condition. It's the kind of couch that looks like maybe someone kept it covered in plastic for years was never allowed to sit on it or something.
Sure. No, there are some of those. That's amazing.
There was some great stuff down there. So Marcia, I understand you're involved in the promotional end of the Rummage in the Ramp, making sure that people know about and use this service.
But working with neighborhood associations in my neighborhood services position, I get that information out to the neighborhoods, particularly the ones in the student areas, to let them know that it's coming up. Consider maybe getting out there and collecting things that they see that might be valuable, that maybe they don't even want, but could be put aside and brought on down to the rummage sale. And do what we can to get that stuff off the street before it rains, before it gets vandalized, and still make good use of it.
Sure. So, you know, it's obvious what time of year it's most popular to move in Iowa City. I myself have managed to find some good things on the curbs over the years, but it's a great thing to be able to have all the stuff consolidated and really chosen as part of this event. So what are some of the criteria for some of the items in order to be a part of the Rummage?
Well, they still have to be usable, in fairly good shape. You know, that can be all relative according to what people's standards are, but even some of the more eclectic things that we've collected can be some of the more popular items, particularly with the college crowd we've found. It can't be significantly worn out. It still has to be usable and have a reasonable lifespan.
So this is also an opportunity for people to take a look around their own homes and maybe clean them out a little bit.
Oh, sure. And we see that a lot. A lot of the older residents that come in and they've got just a car full of items that they haven't used for years and can be very useful to somebody who's first starting out and needs the basic items and furniture items and that type of thing. Because it's not just furniture, it's household items and clothing as well. So you can find just about everything you could use, cost more.
It's kind of the ultimate yard sale.
Exactly, yes. It is becoming so.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I really hope that it grows over the years.
We've seen a great growth just from the first year to this year, and we're hoping that it just expands.
So where can people find information throughout the year about the Rummage in the Ramp?
Probably the easiest place is to go to the city's website at icgov.org/rummage in the ramp. It's all one word. And we'll provide an update there about what the dates are, because every year, obviously, the dates change because of the schedule and moving in and moving out. But where it'll be located and when we'll start collecting items and when we'll start sales.
Great, and that way people can prepare in advance and hopefully collect some of those items. I know people often move out early, and so for about a month before the big moving weekend, you see a lot of things on the street. So you would encourage people to pick up some of those items and store them and
got room in your garage or your basement, yeah, and it still looks good even though you may not need it. Right. It's best to get it off the street before it gets damaged or ruined by the weather.
That's great advice. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
We're
for
going to take a look at some footage from the landfill and some of those wonderful piles on the curbs around town, stuff that would have gone to the landfill, but that now can be salvaged instead of discarded. And when we come back, we'll talk with Jennifer Jordan, Recycling Coordinator for the City of Iowa City, about her role in organizing the Rummage in the Ramp.